So what I'm focusing on now is physical AI. Service robots in hospitals, in cafes, in fast food, right? So today I really want to focus on Gen AI meets service robots here. And before I start, let me say I'm in two different streams of research. The first stream of research here is, oh my gosh, Singapore is aging, Italy is aging, Japan is aging. Who is going to do all the work? Who is going to take care of all of those people, right? So there's a whole kind of worry about running out of labor supporting the old people. And then I'm in this other stream of research. Oh my gosh, robots are taking all our jobs. Do you see a potential solution here? No? I mean, honestly, I'm in two different conferences. This is precisely what I hear. We don't need more people. We don't have to import labor. But you will see in 10 years, we will have robots everywhere. And let me first go back a little bit in history here. I published the 8th edition of my textbook in 2016, and in 2015, Hana Hotel opened. Do you know Hana Hotel in Japan? The first robot hotel in the world, so 2015 already. And in my book, even in the last edition, there's this picture of the check-in of the hotel. There is a robot lady, there's a robot, and there's a robot dinosaur. And one of my EMBA students said, oh, I had to go to this hotel because my son is a huge robot fan and he saw this on TV, and so we have to get checked in by this robot dinosaur here. Right? But this was already 2015. And then a few years later, Wall Street Journal published this massive article, Hana Hotel fires robots. And why? A lot of the robots just didn't work. There was one robot, it's like an Alexa or something in the room, and a guest snores at night. And then this robot says, sir, I didn't understand what you said. What would you like? You know? So the guest spoke up. Yeah? So they fired that robot. They had a drone delivery for food that also didn't work. So they fired another 10, 15 of those robots. So the question is, look, in 2015 already, they had this vision. By the way, the hotel is scaling now. So it's working, right? But they had this vision of going into robots, into physical AI. And I mean, I was very optimistic. The first paper I published, I mean, it was kind of interesting. I was invited to a thought leadership conference in Australia. And the chair told me, Jochen, can you lead a paper? I said, sure. Can you do a paper on culture and frontline staff, culture, cross-cultural, and service? I said, Jay was the chair. I said, Jay, this is so boring, culture and service. I mean, declinated this throughout already, so many thousands and thousands. How about service robots? And oh yeah, that's interesting. So this was the very first robot paper ever published in the service literature here. And and we defined service robots in there. And in my own personal, unbiased, and objective opinion, it's still the best definition of service robots around, right? And it goes like this here. Service robots are system-based, autonomous, and adaptable interfaces. So I said interfaces. I mean, a robot can be a genie, right, on a website, that interact, communicate, and deliver service to an organization's customers. So it's quite broad. And this paper has been amazing. It's the fastest paper in citations I ever had. I think it was published 2018. There's like 2,500 citations on Google Scholar now. But if you read this here, do robots deliver? Not really, right? Not yet. Now, will that change? And here, I mean, experts absolutely think so. Here, the CEO of NVIDIA says the next wave of AI is physical. The era of robotics has arrived. Narayan is Group Chief Executive of Technology Accenture. robots will be able to move into customer-heavy environments, work in unpredictable settings, communicate with anyone and take on any number of tasks without needing to be specifically trained for each. So I come to that. You don't need to train everything anymore. Yeah? This is some co-authors from Holland, Dominic Maar, Gabi Oderken-Schröder, and Jennifer Dawn. They just published service robots become ubiquitous in our daily lives. Not only performing efficiently, but also forming deep emotional connections with their human users. You know, if that research came out of Japan, I wouldn't be surprised. But coming out of Europe, the people are so, hey, robots. Citibank, research paper, so they invest, right? Robot dexterity is improving, with some now being able to thread the needle. I mean, they look at how to invest money, right? What they predict is that the installed base of robots in only 5 years from now will be 750 million. This is one robot in 11 people in this world, and you can see the robot density in the developed world, like Japan, US, Korea, will be much higher. Maybe it will be 1 to 5, 1 to 3 robots. So everything, this is only in 5 years, and the numbers, I mean, there's predictions that there will be more robots than people in this world in 20 years from now. Of course, I mean, if I present this, I mean, I'm German. If I present this in Germany, I mean, the Germans, they hate technology and all of this stuff. They're all into the human touch, right? And I present this here, and I mean, my conclusion is Germans hate technology unless it's in a car, you know? Okay, so, I mean, will this change? And I think all the experts absolutely believe so, and I believe so too. Now, what has changed? Why will it change? Yeah, and look, in 2021, we published this book, Intelligent Automation. Here, Pascal Bonnet, the main author, he was the McKinsey partner for digital transformation across Asia. And in this book, we had like data from 750 digital transformations, including ANZ Bank, which I will feature a bit later, the Australian New Zealand Bank here. And I'm very proud of this book. This has been on the Amazon bestsellers for 10 months in a row, right? But this is old technology. And what we show in this book is scalable, end-to-end automated customer service processes. So ANZ Bank, they cut costs by about 15% over the last few years, at the same time increased revenues by over 20%. This was right after the digital transformation. And to give you an example, end-to-end automated, what does that mean? ANZ Bank automated the acquisition of customers, onboarding, including the shipping of whatever. So for simple products like credit card, travel insurance, personal loan, the technology recruits customers on social media through self-run advertising campaigns. And then onboards you, and a lot of APIs, a lot of different technologies, right? It's not one technology, it's a lot of technologies here. So police records, credit rating, scoring, know your customer, and all of those things here. And it makes a decision, yes, no loan, how much loan and what interest rate. And then it will ship the credit card or issue your travel insurance into your email or transfer you the money of your personal loan. That's old technology. And already it's terribly exciting. Google is old technology. Google Maps, Google Search, Google Gmail, right? So think about it, all the apps you have are old technology. Your Uber, your Grab, your Airbnb, your banking apps. I mean, my telephone company is an app now. I have one eSIM Global, one eSIM Singapore. I'm not with any of the telco companies. Yeah? And my global, I mean, it's so cheap, right? And this is where we are going in a lot of things. I'm very happy to chat. But what has changed is agentic AI. this is the book we just published. I'm also terribly proud of this book because it has been on the bestseller list on Amazon since it was published. Yeah. So what has changed? The old technology is very deterministic. Yes or no, you get a loan. If this, then yes. If that, then no. There's no judgment. There is no planning. There is no execution, right? There's no trade-offs, no assessment of alternatives. And this is what comes now with agentic AI that will rapidly change how we will live. Now this book is very much onto the information processing kind of services. So anything you can do on an app, on an email, on the phone, or by talking to someone, it's not about touching stuff, like touching a pizza or a burger or a customer or something, right? It's all the intangible kind of services, and that is happening as we speak as a breakneck speed here. What I want to focus on here now is the physical side of it. So all of that gets now integrated into physical service robots. So what does that mean? Like, large language models get integrated into service robots. So like you're chatting now with your ChatGPT, your robot will talk to you driven by large language models. Hi Peter, how do you feel today? How's your work on corporate digital responsibility going, right? The robot can scan his LinkedIn and research scholar at the same time, right? So you are completely transparent to me. Yeah?
Are you a robot?
Who knows, right? Maybe I'm at home by the pool, right? I sent you my avatar. Who knows? Yeah. So this is from two Italian researchers. They have a €100 million budget to play with robots in hospitals and old age homes. And what they say, LLMs allow service robots to engage in more nuanced, contextually relevant, and empathetic conversation, explain complex medical terms in simple language, and even foster emotional well-being. I mean, they do fantastic research, and they find that robots help in healthcare, for example, pre-surgery. Nurses are busy, doctor is busy. So the robot does breathing, relaxation, calming down exercises with you before. Right? So they can do that. Now, a lot of input to all types of equipment now is typing. In 3 years, in 5 years, no one of us will type anymore. I mean, already I don't type anymore. Only when I'm in public, I don't want people to hear what I'm doing, I type. But in my office, in my home, I just say, hey Siri, or I dictate on my WhatsApp, I dictate on my email, I dictate my papers. Much faster. Yeah. And so it will be all talking, and I mean, this will be all our Alexa and Siri. So I bought the new Apple 16, which already is old now again, right? But I bought it because I bought it because of Apple Intelligence. And guess what? Apple is not terribly intelligent. End of the day, my Siri doesn't know how to spell my name. When I call my wife, it asks, which one? If agentic AI is integrated, it will learn. So I correct my name once, and it will know the second time. I've said, this one is my wife, not the other one, right? Then it knows who to call, right? So large language models will make the interaction with robots a lot easier. Now the next is large behavioral models. You can train a robot to serve a glass of wine in a restaurant. I show the robot 5 times. Right? But then, for a robot, whether they do this now in the real world to train, or whether they learn this in the metaverse to train, is bits and bytes, it doesn't matter. So if they hold the glass like this, they spill the wine. If they put down the glass too hard, it breaks. They touch it too hard, it breaks. Right? So they will do And because it's done digitally, you can train a robot with 1 million ways of picking up a glass of wine, carrying it, and putting it down. And then, it's like large language models, you have a token. What is the next most likely thing to do? So that means, that's why Accenture says, you don't have to train specifically anymore, because I have this large behavioral model that guides me. Because I have millions of scenarios there, it helps me what to do next, right? So this is large behavioral models here. So the next is agentic AI on top of that. This is, if you are interested in this field, you should really, really look at this guy here, Jensen Huang. He gives regular keynotes. He's a fantastic speaker. This keynote is, of course, a bit long. It's 1 hour, 40 minutes. But he has an index. They just can, it's on YouTube. Just can click and look at physical AI. So it's a 10-minute on, and whatever you hear here today is all already working in a lab, at a university, in a research center, in a robot manufacturer. So I don't present anything that doesn't already work. It's just not scaled yet. Yeah? So it's already, the future is already here. It's just not widely available. Yeah? So what is the exciting thing here? Look, I mean, now it has memory. It can remember how to spell my name. So it allows you contextual continuity, multi-session interaction. It won't forget how he served you last time or what you want. So it will continue. It will remember you and remember what happened and will pick up from where it left. So there's memory, reasoning and planning. So now it can make judgment calls. So the more deterministic AI, if you have a 50-50 chance of something happening, it stops. It doesn't know what to do. Agentic AI would say, oh, it doesn't matter what I do, both are good. So it can build alternative course of action, select what it thinks is the best option here for you. Then execution. So I mean, execution is not so easy. I mean, we're in the physical world, but even in a digital world, it means sequencing of tasks, setting priorities, accessing, allocating resources, managing timelines. So I promise you, in 3 years, you will say, hey Siri, hey Alexa, please book me a dinner reservation for 2 window seats at Sky in Singapore, 7:30 on Friday. And it will be able to call, it will be able to give my name and mobile number, it can make payment if there's a reservation fee required, it can send an email to my wife and to me, and can put it into our calendars. And if there's no Sky available, what I want, then Jochen likes to sit somewhere high, let me find another restaurant in Singapore that is similar. So this is the execution bit here. And then the other thing is, it looks at the performance. Oh, I spilled the wine after all. so it can learn from past transactions. And you as a user can also give feedback. Ah, it was very good, I like it, please do it again, or not, right? So there's the learning here. So what you get is sort of, you autonomously can execute services here, right? So now, what is exciting here is all of this comes together, and this is called multimodal input. Video, language, large behavioral models, right? So, for example, that the robot can cut hair, you think this is far away, it's not far away. It can already be done now, just too expensive. Yeah? But in 5 years, I'm sure at least the guys in the class here have no problem. Class group, right? The audience. I mean, you will probably go into one of these robot hairdressers here, and look at a smart mirror. It analyzed your hair already. It scanned your Facebook and your Instagram and everything, see what styles have you had before, right? And then it suggests you, if you like, you click OK. And it cuts. And a robot doesn't have to look this way. This is also on YouTube here. There are 20 advanced humanoid robots in 2025, and more than half are Chinese. Yeah, I mean, you have Optimus from Tesla. Yeah, you have Atlas 2. You got Boston Dynamics, right? You got Figure 02. These are the famous American robots. But then there's a ton of. Then there's one IPO in Hong Kong now, right?